Right, welcome back everyone. Today, going to start installing some of the suspension components and things like that, what we need. Now, if obviously I don't have the right strut or the right shock to go in here, but what we're going to start working on is something that's really important for lots of different track conditions, and having one shock set up or one spring set up, one spring rate in that, and having different different track variations through the day, and that is being able to easily, quickly limit the front end travel. So, the ultimate setup would be that you could change your spring rates and change your, damper rates and all these kind of things, and have full adjustability over everything by that. But sometimes, especially when you're like myself, it's not that easy just to, pull a coilover out of it and readjust the whole setup and put it in. So what you need is a nice happy medium, somewhere in between. And then what you need to be able to do, depending on what track conditions are, is limit this amount of droop. Now you can see here the wheel is just off the ground, and you'll see if I measure here, we have from the ground to up here is about 28 and 3/4 inches. I don't know why I have imperial tape measure, but anyway, but 28 and 3/4 inches. So what I'll do now is I'll lower this down, and we'll see how far this comes down to where it is approximately ride height. That is now down. If we measure again, we've got now basically sort of 21 and a quarter, so it's about 7 inches. 7 inches of shock travel essentially there, which is a lot. It's a lot of shock travel. Now, the thing we don't want to do is we want the car obviously to sit about here, which means the spring would be rather compressed. That compressed spring is going to have a lot of stored energy in it. So when the front end becomes light on launch, that stored energy can spring the car up. When it springs the car up, that means it is very likely to induce a large wheel stand. Essentially, wheel stands, awesome for thumbnails, awesome for photos to sit on your, in your garage, shop, or whatever on the wall. Really bad for drag racing to go fast. So the easiest way for me to be able to combat that and to work around track conditions, because is with this device here. And the reason why I want to install something like this is mainly because, depending on, again, I'm just racing by myself, but it makes it much easier to tune sort of the front end and the overall chassis sort of setup. So on super incredible tracks where the air is great and the track is great and the prep is great, I don't want hardly any front end travel here at all. What I want is all the weight that's leveraging on the back tire to be going down to that back tire. And I know that then I feed it heaps of horsepower really early, so it will carry that front momentum to where it's locked down to keep on going. However, when the track conditions change, then I can't put that much power to the car. So what happens if the front end is super locked down and it can't move up very high? It means that the front end might come up, lock down, the back tire might lose a bit of traction, and then the front end comes down quickly again, and the back tire unloads and it spins the tire. So what I need in a circumstance like that, where just say, it's a really hot day, sun's beating on the track, and the preparation of the track might not be a normal radial prep, it might be something else, and the track becomes really slippery, so to speak. I need the front end to be able to rise a bit and then control it with the shock rate. So I want some separation in the shock. So you might want up to 2-3 inches or something in that, and that is where a device like this comes in, this is called a front end travel limiter. So these ones are from maxpeedingrods, and what these do is, you'll see here there's a little sort of split pin that moves in, but basically it's two separate pieces. So one attaches to your chassis and one sort of to your lower control arm. And what happens is these move with as you saw the suspension moving before. So these will move like this. And what enables you to do is limit the front end travel. So before we had 7 inches of travel. So realistically, what you can do along here is, I never want 7 inches of travel at all. Like at all, I don't want 7 inches of travel. The most travel I might want is like 3 inches or something like that. So just say we have that, and let me just measure what this is here. And this is pretty much so 4 inches there. So it's to be about 4 inches, which would be the most I ever want. So if I put this in at, say, the 3-inch mark, what we'll do is, if this is at ride height, what it will do is the front end will come up, separate, and then that's it. It will not be able to separate beyond that sort of 3 inches and that. Now, if the track is incredibly awesome and I want to limit that even more, so to lock down that front end where I just want 1 inch of separation, I simply take the pin out and look, and it's locked in at that 1 inch. So this gives me the ability to quickly and easily make changes to how the front end works in terms of the droop and things like that, and the extension, without having to mess with spring rates and damper rates all the time and things like that, because it's just, as a single one-man band looking after this car, I need all the things that can help me go faster. So you have a look at most, pretty much just about every single fast radial car there is on the planet, and they're all running a front-end travel limiter. So slick tire guys are different. They want to get the front ends really up high, but again, they may want to, you may want to run something like this so you can limit just how high it comes up. But mainly for the radial guys, it makes it really super quick and easy in order to change exactly how much separation you're going to get on that front end based on track conditions and horsepower that you're going to be able to load in the tune-up. So, all right, so that's what they are. That's how they work. Let's go over how we now are going to install them. We've got some brackets here, bottom and top, ready to go in. Here is my travel limiter. So I think we'll weld these ones on first, and then we'll work out the exact height we want them in, and then we can weld those ones in. So lower mount, upper mount tacked in just for now. As you can see, no pin. So let's raise the car and show you what happens with no pin. Now, wheel is free spinning, so that's max, and you can see there's still captive. It's all in there, but we've got the 87 million inches of travel at the moment. Let's lower it down and put the pin in, maybe about 3 or 4 holes up, and see what it does. Pin is 1, 2, 3, 4 from the bottom, so let's raise the car up and see what change makes. Alright, so as you can see, it's captive. What do we got there? Maybe about 2 inches or something. And if I go over this side that has no limiter, you can see the difference. So massive difference. Now obviously it's got the sway bar and everything, so it's trying to keep it even, but yeah, pretty incredible the difference you can make with this, with just being able to pull the pin in and put it back in. So that's your front end travel limiter all installed. Now I looked around the internet before I bought these at a fair few places, and yeah, I saw a link on maxpeedingrods from I know the sort of stuff they sell, and I thought there's no way someone like a business like that would sell something like this, because this is a pretty niche, higher end sort of drag racing product. So, normally a lot of bolt-in coilover stuff and turbos and all that kind of stuff on their website. To have something like this was pretty surprising. So I thought I'd grab a set. And after I ordered, they actually reached out and said, I see you make content. Would you like to offer your followers sort of a discount? So I paid for these, but I said yes. So obviously to a discount for you guys. So if you want to get a set of these, discounted, which if you've got a radial car, if you've got any drag racing car, why wouldn't you? So you can go on the link down in the description or the top comment, I'll pin it or something. You can click that link and you can get these at a discounted price and that. So good deal for everyone. And yeah, these are perfect, exactly what we needed. So click the link, get your own set, and I'll see you in the next video.